I'm the first to admit I love being in my comfort zone, but is it potentially affecting the way that I am aging? Sounds like a crazy concept, doesn't it? Let's face it, I'm a creature of habit. I love being in a routine. It makes me feel safe, it makes me feel confident, and I just know that I'm not going to get any nasty surprises. When I get outside my comfort zone or I do something new or what I perceive to be scary, it really does create like a feeling of dread inside of me, anxiety, nerves. It's not great. So how can getting outside our comfort zone be helpful to the way that we age? As much as staying in our comfort zone lowers our stress levels, it works out that as we get older, it's not really helping our brain to stay in tip-top shape. The research suggests that as we get older, it's vital that we continue to learn new things and to challenge our brain so that ultimately it stays healthy and fit and strong. And the research is showing that this can help lower the risk of Alzheimer's by up to 50%. That's a lot. Apparently when we push our boundaries, it actually works in our favour. It makes the brain create new neural pathways, and this creates growth. I always like to think of it that it's keeping our brain firing on all six. I know getting out of our comfort zone doesn't just work with our brain health. I know when my clients tell me that they're really pushing outside their comfort zone, that they start to really get growth in their confidence. And one lady told me just last week how much stronger her body is feeling. And they always tell me their balance is better and their energy levels are up. So how do we get outside our comfort zone safely to be able to get all these great results? Well, you may or may not be surprised to learn that a lot of it has to do with your mindset and getting in touch with your emotions. Step one is finding your starting point. What is your baseline? And that's just asking simple questions. Are you similar to me? You hate getting outside your comfort zone. You hate trying new things. You love routine. You love habits. Well, if you're like me, your baseline is probably pretty low and you're going to have to really push yourself that little bit, and slow and steady wins the race. If you are the opposite, you love adventure, you love trying new things, nothing seems outside your scope of trying, well, firstly, congratulations, I wish. And secondly, I'd say still go slow and steady, because we're not as young as we once were, and it still requires us to be safe for the results to be effective. So one step at a time. The next step is truly getting in touch with our emotions and not reacting to them in the moment. Can I share a quick story? When I was younger, I was running on a regular basis, but I'd chosen to go for a Saturday morning early run with a friend's husband, and I knew that he was a great runner. I knew he'd been running for decades and decades, and he was fast. And I'd worked myself up into a frenzy, and when it got to the Saturday morning, I was always able to run about 5 kilometres, but my fear of getting outside my comfort zone, because I kept thinking, I'm going to have to run faster because he's so fast. When I got there, I reacted so much to that anxiousness and that fear that I literally was sick and vomiting and I couldn't run. So I reacted so quickly to my emotions rather than practicing observing them but not overreacting to them. When my kids were younger, I took them to a place called Jamberoo. It's on the south coast in Australia, and it's like a fun park. And there they have this rock, and people jump off the rock into the water. And the kids were like, Mum, let's do that. And I'm like, yeah, happy days, let's do that. And I got up there and I was on the edge of the rock looking down in the water, and I thought, oh my God, I can't jump. And one person after another was jumping. Kids were jumping, mums were jumping, dads were jumping, grandmas were jumping. And myself, I was like, oh, I can't do that. And the fear of jumping and the emotion that I felt truly stopped me in my tracks. So I took a step back and I said, you go kids, let the kids go first. And I eventually couldn't do it. I had to walk back down to where they were in the water. And, you know, me not being able to get out of my comfort zone in those days really did stop me from having many experiences. But now that I'm older, knowing that the research really requires me to get out of my comfort zone to keep my brain healthy and to keep my body healthy and ensure that I'm reducing my risk of things like Alzheimer's, well, it's time to start to look at my emotional health. And I would, suggest you guys do the same. Are you reactive to your emotions, or are you able to observe them, accept them, and continue on getting outside your comfort zone? I'll often talk to my clients about growth mindset versus fixed mindset. And, I feel like to get out of our comfort zone, we really need to practice a growth mindset. And that is having that mindset that is all about potential. So rather than saying, I can't do this, we say, I can do this with practice. I can do this over time. And it's with this growth mindset that we're able to take the next step and ultimately achieve these things that we never thought that we could do. And with that obviously comes the great results of, stronger health, stronger brain health, stronger body health, and happy days to that. The last tip I would have is to not look at succeeding day one. It takes time. Can I share another story? I know what a scaredy cat I am, and I know that I am determined to create brain health, body health as I age. Having a mum with Alzheimer's, it really has pushed me in that direction. And so I decided, listening to all the research, that I was going to have a cold shower every single day after my hot shower. And yes, winter, summer, every day of the year. And when I first tried this, it was no way in the world. I kept failing and failing and failing. And what I want you to know is you may not succeed day one, but do not give up. Because, I've been able to overcome my emotional state, my fear, my anxiety, and I'm now able to stand in a cold shower 365 days a year, no matter the weather, for 2 minutes every single day. And I know what that's doing for my immune system, for my overall brain health, and it makes me feel strong and powerful and like I have control. So I would just say, last tip is, failure is an opportunity to grow. If you don't succeed the first time, go again and again and again, and one day you will get there, and I can guarantee you'll be so proud of yourself if you do so. Thanks for listening to today's tip, and I'll catch you next time.